Hello, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you. Here we are with another study of the Spiritist magazine. And yes, we have a new issue. It's issue 54, published on July 1st, 2021. With immortal, timeless messages for you and I, this new issue of the Spiritist magazine is all about mediumship. I'm going to show it to you shortly how it goes. Please let us go and visit the website spiritistmagazine.org. This website is most inspiring and beautiful to you and I, where we have the ability to, amongst other things, to download the app, which I'm going to show you shortly. We're going to download the app, the PDF version of the Spiritist magazine, or order a physical copy of the Spiritist magazine. And here's the website that you're seeing next to me. This is the new issue, issue 54. We're celebrating today, issue 54, where we are able to see a little bit more. So here's the new issue. Here you can find the web page, the Facebook page of the Spiritist magazine, the app for each, either or an Apple device or Android device. Here you can have many ways to get many of the other issues. These are all the issues available to you and I from the Spiritist magazine. Isn't that wonderful resources? If you were to click on this or PDF download, you can choose which magazine you want to download, and here you have go to link and download right into your computer. And you can read many of the issues of the magazine this way. You can use it for your gospel at home study, so on and so forth. Much blessed way of you and I to look at different things. So today's message is titled Collaboration. I'm going to go and scroll down to the message. And this message is by the Spirit Meimei through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. But before I do that, I want to show to you what happened if you were, of course, we have a donate button because this is all 100% volunteer, but we do have costs that our listeners help us, and the readers help us to cover. And here you have a way to contact, the contact form where you can send the message to the editors. And you have different stories of how the Spiritist magazine has evolved over time. Now we're going to stop sharing these and share it to you. What would happen if you were to download the app into your phone? So if you were to download the app to your phone, let's make sure we do not get any notifications as we're doing this. This is what the phone would look like. In your case, this is my phone. And if you download the app, which is this one here, the red icon on your screen, you would have the ability of choosing all of the issues of the magazine to read from your app or your tablet, from your phone or your tablet. The newest issue is issue 54. I have already downloaded it to my phone. So it says show, but if there was another one that I haven't done, like this one, issue 34, I haven't downloaded to my phone, I can just hit free and it will download depending on the speed of your internet. And as it downloads, eventually it will allow you to open the phone that way. So for now, we're going to stop that download and go to issue 54. Let's see. Yeah. So the computer can use the resources. So if you show here, you have easy peasy, beautiful ways you can zoom in and out, see what's going on. Here's a message from the book Spiritist Conduct by the Spirit Andrea Louise. You can read Very easy. You can scroll down to the different articles of the Spiritist magazine. And we're going to look for this one here that is titled Collaboration by the Spirit Meimei for the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. Here you have. Very, very easy for you and I to do. And here we have. It's asking me to continue download. Nevertheless, very easy. I wanted to share this with you because it's most important that we have the ability to access these resources whenever you and I need for our betterment, because it's all about improving and getting better as a person, as a spirit in this lifetime. This message is titled Collaboration by the Spirit Meimei. And who does not partake in collaborating with others in this lifetime? Especially when we're talking about mediumship, because mediumship is something that happens all over the earth to many different spirits, and even us. We are always collaborating with the good spirits, even if we're not ostensive mediums. So it's very important that we keep in mind that all the works of the good entail collaboration. Collaboration between your friends that are also serving in the harvest of the good in the Spiritist doctrine. Perhaps you're collaborating, your Spiritist center is collaborating with other religious institutions to feed the homeless, to feed the hungry, to do the good in general. There's collaboration there. And also, of course, you're collaborating with your spirit guides. We're co-creating with God, allowing God to give us the opportunity of growth, so on and so forth. Here is the message by Meimei. I'll make sure everybody can read and we can discuss a few aspects that I've selected for today. We want to make sure we focus on only what we want to pay attention to, right? It says here. Meimei will remind us that no one accomplishes anything without the support of someone else. Think about it and you know how to collect the needed help for the execution of the tasks to which you are devoted. Collaboration and reciprocity. Have you thought about that? Sometimes we think we are the ones, we can do everything. We can pull ourselves by our bootstraps. It only depends on us working harder and learning more. And Emmanuel and Meimei is telling us, no, when you accomplish something, you are doing the support of someone else. Even if you're learning, someone had to put together that curriculum and teach you. Yes, you've earned the degree. You may be able to do the job, but how many others from in this lifetime and others that worked before us, they have allowed us to come together and have the resources for our use today? I'll give you a very relevant example. I'm here with you using a computer that I didn't build, a microphone that I didn't build, an app that I didn't build. But I have resources. Those resources, I could not accomplish what I'm doing here with you today without others. If the spirits would wait for me to build my own computer, my own internet, my own camera, and my microphone, translate and publish my own magazine, it would be a long time ago. So I'm at the entail of the process. Think about those who mine the minerals that are in the technology, those who invented and share the teachings and the codes and the programs and processes and procedures. So we are always together. Yes, you have the merit of doing something. You've grown, you've learned, you've helped, but you're never alone. In both realms of life, we are with the spirit mentors inspiring us. He says, think about it and you know how to collect the needed help for the execution of the task to which you're devoted. This is very relevant when we look at our workplaces and we have, you can do it all, you can do everything. No, just because we can't, should we? Or could I have someone else in my team of Spiritist workers who can play the piano or an instrument, who can translate messages, or who can work on accounting, or at work is the same. We don't need to feel like we can do everything. We're a team. Therefore, you can look for others who can help you execute those tasks. Now you're also giving them the chance of service and growth when you acknowledge their potential to do the good. She'll give us some examples of how that happens. She says, the tree protects its source, and the source feeds the roots. The soil shelters the seed, and the seed produces values that honor it. See, the tree shelters us from the heat, allow us to have the oxygen to breathe. We breathe out carbon dioxide. The tree takes it in and makes energy through photosynthesis. So the tree protects the source, the soil, and the soil shelters the seed, and the seed removes nutrients from the soil. It's always about reciprocity. Help your companions in everyday life so that they can help you in return. So she did not say, wait until they help you so you help them. She says, take the initiative. Help your companions so that they can help us in return. Well, what if they don't help us? That's okay. It's still your job to help them. If we have the ability to speak, to hear, to smell, to do things, we have a physical body. It's our duty that we use it for the good, not just for our own family, our own kids, but our community, our workplaces, our Spiritist centers, and our place of charity as well. It's a command, help your companions so they can help you in return. She says, nobody materializes this or that idea without those who become resources of its expression. And with the understanding that all of us, interconnected spirits working towards perfection on the earth, are still growing beings, do not expect perfect relationships to fulfill your needs. So she's so compassionate. She's saying, okay, you're still growing. Go back to question or item 100 of the Spirit's book. It is the scale of spirit, the Spirit scale of evolution. We start simple and ignorant, and we build and we build and we build. We're still growing. We're not Christ. And even when we get to the level of pure spirit, imagine how much knowledge you have to be a pure spirit. So it's always growing, 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 steady line upwards. She says, and more important, with the understanding that all of us interconnected spirit working towards perfection. That is telling us right now that we are connected to one another. So when I do something, I also take something in return, even if I'm not aware of it. When I'm helping, I'm not expecting to be held backwards. But if I'm in the service of the good, the spirits that are with me will continue to inspire me. They will allow me to support me when I falter. They will give us inspiration in prayer for me when I feel disillusioned and tired. And the resources will come and bring me back to my work. So that is this ability of being interwoven with one another. And then makes you feel part of the whole. Even more importantly, when we feel ourselves interconnected with others, we judge less, we're less harsh, we're less of a philosophy of separation and detachment. We're more, what if I were in that situation? In this lifetime, we're here. But in previous lifetime, perhaps we were immigrating. We were living our places because of war. So how would I like to be treated when someone comes to ask asylum in the country that I live? Or What if I, in this lifetime, lose my ability temporarily to have work and to earn the money, because money is a resource, in order to fulfill my basic needs? Wouldn't it be helpful for a moment that everybody else gather together in a form of organized institutions such as the government, for example, to give me a little bit of help so that I can recover and get better? So we are interconnected. Today we're doing well, but we don't know tomorrow, we don't know previous lives. So it's important that we see ourselves as part of the whole. What I do, what you do, influence others, and you're being influenced by everybody else. So when we commit to the works of the good, let's look for their interconnectedness, understanding that none of our relationships will be perfect. When people come to us in our Spiritist centers, groups, in our gospel home, they're not perfect because they are still growing as well. But we encourage them. We recognize the importance of indulgence and understanding, but also guiding them to learn more discipline, to help them when they're late, when they can't fulfill their promises, and understanding why, so that we can together build a place where the spirits can count on us to help one another. It may be the place that you and I return to when we discarnate to receive help. So we want to build those relationships now, right? It says you always encounter people in the world that will show failures in the mechanism of action. Sometimes we are failures in our mechanism. We try to do something, we have the best of our abilities, but we can't fulfill that mission. Then what we do? And this should give us examples. It says an individual holds a sharp reasoning but does not show refinement of sentiment. Another one reveals a generous heart yet still not perceive the need to study. Which one are we? The ones with sharp reasoning and studying but unable to feel love and compassion for others? Or are we the ones with the generous heart who needs to still read the Spirit's book paid cover to cover? Not just read, but study it. Maybe we're in between. Some days we're the reasoned, uncompassionate. Sometimes we're the compassionate without the knowledge, right? It says another one communicates optimism and enthusiasm, but seems to delay manners in the practice of discipline. So it's beautiful for us to be talking about this. But it's more important when I go and show through my actions my co-creation and goodness with God. Yet another person's model of honesty, however, underestimates the value of courtesy that may have on the productivity of the services in progress. So maybe someone is honest, they want to start on time, they want to be right, they want to do things a certain way, but then they're harsh, they're not as kind. So it's about discipline. Yes, we need to have reasoning. We need to be refined in our sentiments. We need to have a generous heart, and we need to study. The Spiritists need to instruct themselves, said Allan Kardec a long time ago, right? So we need to communicate optimism and enthusiasm when we talk to people. We need to let them know they have the potential to do the works of the good that they're thinking of doing. But we need to do manners in practice of our own discipline in doing our work. We need to be honest, of course, but maybe we need to work on how to be honest and courteous at the same time. It's all about collaboration. So she will say to us, as being also in the condition of imperfect workers, take advantage of learning from others' qualities and using patience on others' imperfections, observing that we are all in the process of evolution towards our future ahead. So we are imperfect, yet we have qualities. So we learn from other people's mistakes. We read the books of André Louise and we use those case studies in order to avoid the same mistakes in our daily lives. We look at people and say, how wonderful you are when you speak. How great you are when you're working with children, with the elderly, with the homeless. How well you play an instrument. How well you translate a message. How well you do accounting or clean the floors or the toilet or drive a car or serve someone at the grocery store. Let's learn from those qualities. And when we find imperfection, we use patience in our own imperfections and the imperfections of others. She says, remember that the stone is capable of bruising, but if founded on the right place during construction, if placed in the right place, it becomes an agent of sturdiness of the standing building. Yes, you can use this stone to hit someone, or you can mix it with concrete and rebar and make a very sturdy foundation for a house that will house someone. The electric force is susceptible to generate destructive fires, but if properly controlled, is a source of energy and light. We are here together due to electricity. If the electricity were to go off, the life would shut down momentarily, right? So how are we looking at the abilities and qualities that we have? Are we using them in a constructive manner, or are we using them for less than ideal endeavors? Am I using the precious hours of my blessed physical body, physically able body, to serve and help, or I'm spending time with my own checklists and selfish endeavors, or even on social media for that matter, right? So what to do, she says, help all of the brothers and sisters who cross your path, especially those who support you. Those who are in our members of the Spiritist group should pray for one another. We should help them, see what they need, what kind of financial resources, physical resources, and emotional resources. Look at how beautiful this paragraph is. Not even God decided to be alone in the sustenance of the universe. For he chose his own children to participate in him the works of creation. And Jesus himself, in the formation of Christianity that is increasing over the centuries, called the 12 disciples from even from the 12. So you are a co-creator in God. God did not do everything alone. God has given us the opportunity of service. You are co-creating in a smaller plane or a greater plane, according to Andrew Luiz in the book Evolution to Worlds and Mechanisms of Mediumship. You'll see that we are here on the planet to co-create with God in goodness today, wherever you are. So remember, you are never alone. Even our accomplishments are due to other people's inputs in our lives. We wouldn't be here today if someone didn't feed us after birth, if someone didn't lend us their physical body in order for us to grow. So we have to be mindful that we are supporting and helping one another every day of our lives, today and always. Where did this message come from? This message comes from a book called God Waits by Meimei through Francisco Cândido Xavier. And then Kardec Radio's Facebook and YouTube has a study by Vanessa Saloni, and the podcast also, where you can hear her study and comments on this entire book. Much blessed ability for you and I to listen to, and we should have those things in place when we study so that we can always be in collaboration with the good spirits. In this case, Meimei, through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. So we can put it all in one place for you. Dear friends, what a blessing to be with you. I hope that I can be with you many, many more times together. God willing, we will, sharing the good news of Christ everywhere we go. We are looking forward to hearing your comments, your questions, and we thank you for taking the time to be with us today. And until next week, when we come together for another study of the Spiritist magazine, may you stay well, may you stay safe, take care of yourself and others, and I will see you soon.